ourselves, if you'll put your hand over your eyes, I open my eyes to see the spiritual truth today. And now over your ears, I open my ears to hear the spiritual truth today. And now over your heart, just extend your arms out. I open my heart to receive the spiritual truth today. The spiritual truth that I'm working today is that the choice to on what kind of a day you're going to have today is entirely yours. The choice as to what kind of day you're going to have today is entirely yours. Now, some of you may have heard the story of the woman who was having a great day. And she just thanked God, oh, I'm having such a great day, God. Thank you so much. Now, I'm going to get out of bed in a minute, and I think I'm going to need some help to continue this on. Most of us need a little help during the day. Not only when we get up in the morning, but also, our day starts at any moment. We learned that in recovery. Your day starts at any moment. It could start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, could start at 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Some of us need help in the when we open our bills, don't we? We need help to make a decision to have a great day after we open those bills up. Or we have to make a decision to have a great day after the boss calls us in and says they're not too pleased with the kind of work that we're doing. Or maybe you wake up in the morning and you think, I can't do one more day with a monosyllabic teenager. Have you ever had that experience? You need help saying, I'm going to have a great day even after that. Or maybe your doctor has said, we found something, we're going to wait 3 months, and then we're going to look at it again. It's a very scary thing, and you need to have a great day after that kind of news. Unless we're very heightened spiritual beings, we need help in making the decision every single day, every moment of every day, that the future in that day is going to be a great day. Well, we're working with a book that will help us begin to develop the skills to say, I know that the choice of having a great day is my choice alone. And it will also give us some practical ways to have a great day. This book is called SQ21, The 21 Skills of Spiritual Intelligence. The definition of spiritual intelligence is that we will behave with compassion and wisdom and maintain inner and outer peace no matter what the world throws at us. We will behave with wisdom and compassion and maintain inner and outer peace no matter what the world throws at us. I want some of that, don't you? So that if something happens at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 11 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning and we begin to know about it, we can make that decision right then, right there, right day. If the world throws a mass shooter at us, what we want to do is to have our feelings. We are not in this church metaphysical bubbleheads. We do not say just, everything's fine, everything's with God. We have our feelings. But after a period of having our feelings, we want to move those feelings toward compassion and wisdom in our lives. We want to remove any temptation that we might have to start blaming other people. We want to be able to back ourselves up from groupthink. That groupthink that goes around. Right now there's a groupthink going around that is blaming a whole religion of people. There's a groupthink going around right now that blames a whole geography of people. We want to be able to be spiritually intelligent, and I'm not talking religious intelligence here. I'm talking spiritual intelligence. We want to be spiritually intelligent enough to know that's groupthink. Now, you would think that if you come to this church, that's easy to do. Don't lull yourself into thinking that we can't be vigilant about groupthink. It's very inviting in our life. I'm a woman of strong opinions, And I like that about myself. I don't mind that about myself. My opinions, if I am present with them, will help me to clarify my own values. And that is all they should do. Right now, I am of the opinion that the wife of the shooter who killed 49 people in my tribe should go to jail. Now, y'all can agree with that or don't agree with it. It doesn't matter. It's my opinion. I need to keep it my opinion. I need to keep it my opinion and allow it to form my values and inform me of my values, but it is not mine to go out and judge somebody else. That's left to somebody else. It's not for me to do. It's not a spiritually intelligent thing for us to do. It's easy to get caught up in it. But we have to step back and say, this is not mine to do, except for me. Well, we've been working with these 21 skills, and we've gone through 14 of them. I don't have time to review them. They're on YouTube. Your YouTube channel is on the front of your bulletin. If you want to catch up with them, you're more than welcome to do that. Right now, we're going to jump right into skill number 15, which is sustaining faith. Sustaining faith. Now, if it were left up to me, I might change it just a little bit. I would say sustain faith in that which is good. That's what I'd say, because Ernest Holmes said there's a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. That's what we want to have faith in, is the power for good in the universe that we can, and we can use it. You know, because we're always working with faith. You and I are always working with faith. We're sustaining our faith. The question is, do we have faith in an infinite, abundant, loving God? Or do we have faith in lack and limitation? Whenever I hear anybody say, I live on a fixed income, I know they believe in lack and limitation in this life. Whenever I hear anybody say, I'll never be rich, I know they believe in lack, they have faith in lack and limitation. Whenever I hear anybody say, I'll never be able to afford a car, a house, an exotic tropical vacation, I know they believe and have faith in limitation. Whenever I hear women say, all the good men are taken, all the heterosexual good men are taken. Whenever I hear them say that, I know they believe in lack and limitation. They have faith in lack in our lifetime. See, number 15 asks us to have faith in a sustaining universe that is abundant, that is plentiful, with a God that knows your name. It asks us to believe in a universe that is abundant, with a God that knows your name. When we can begin to have that kind of faith, we can begin to exercise this skill 15, a universe that is just waiting for your recognition of its good, and then waiting for you to express a desire that you would like from that good. And then, most importantly, expressing a worthiness that you can have that good in your life. Now, you have to have this belief in this good without impediment. Ernest Holmes says that the universe reacts. It doesn't ponder. It doesn't think about it. It doesn't delay it. It doesn't choose who to act upon, react upon, and not. It just reacts to everybody's belief. Now, if you're visiting today, we're not talking about a God in the sky who chooses some people to favor, some people to bless, and some people not to bless. It's just a mechanical universe. Once we recognize it, once we express our desire, once we understand that we're worthy of our good? It simply pours it on. Not magic. It simply pours it on. See, but here's how we trip ourselves up. The universe reacts to our belief. It does not react to our thought. It only reacts to a thought that is held so long that it's turned itself into an unchangeable, unshakable belief. And then it begins to react. See, a thought is a good first step. We need a thought. But we've got to hang on to it, that no matter what is out there, as evidence to the contrary, that thought turns into a belief. Because here's what happens. We give up. We think, well, you know what? I really wanted a new car, and it didn't happen. I really wanted a house, and it didn't happen. I really wanted my in-laws to like me, and it's never happened. I wanted my thighs to look much different than they look right now, and it did not happen. What happened? What happened is you didn't turn your want into a belief that was unshakable. Once we do that, then all manner of things begin to happen. There's a popular saying that there's only two ways to live. One, as if nothing is a miracle, and the other as if everything is a miracle. See, in order to master skill number 15, living in sustaining faith, that there is a plentiful God who knows your name, in order to be able to do that, you have to you have to work with it a little bit. You have to practice it with a little bit. You have to understand this notion of everything is a miracle. I read about a guy, a young graduate student in engineering, and he was going to go home and see his dad. He said, I'm going to spend the whole month of June with my dad and my mom. It's his Father's Day is in there, and it'll be great to be with him. I haven't been there for a while, so I'm just going to spend the whole month with him. And he went home, and his dad was distant, and his dad was he knew his dad to be a very gregarious guy, and he was distant, and he couldn't figure out what was going on, and he was kind of depressed. And so he was there for about a week, and he tried several things to get him to come out and play, and he just couldn't. And so he said, Dad, what's going on? What's really going on? And his dad says, well, you know what? The barber shop is going under. We're going to have to go bankrupt. Now, this has been a very successful barber shop and beauty shop. He had both barbers and women's haircutters in there, been very successful, put 2 kids through college. And the kid was shocked. He said, well, what happened? He said, well, one of those chains moved in down the street, and they are advertising $6 haircuts. And we just don't have any business left. I'm going to have to go under. And the kid said, no, Dad, let's not give up just yet. Let's sit down and act as if a miracle is out there waiting to happen for us. Let's make a list of everything we might be able to do in this situation. So they did. What could we do? Well, we could sell the business. No, I didn't want to do that. And they made a list, and they kept thinking of things that they could do to make the business live. Maybe we could lay off some people. They didn't want to do that. Finally, they said, well, the answer has got to be in advertising. And so they took it into the stillness, and they came up with this huge sign that they put on the top of the building. And it said, we fix $6 haircuts. Sustaining faith in that which is good, always understanding that there is a solution, that we can't put our head in the sand. We can't succumb to addiction, to fear, to denial. We have to understand that there is a plentiful God, right where, whatever you want to call that, right where we are, that knows our name and is just waiting for us to recognize and begin to believe that we are worthy of that which we want in our life. Number 16 is seeking guidance from our higher self. Seeking guidance from our higher self. You know, we call this the higher, I could call it anything. I could call it seeking God, help from God, seeking guidance from Allah. I want to stick with higher self because I want to anchor us in the understanding that God is within us all the time. Without us also, but within us all of the time. See, this number 16, seeking guidance from our higher self, is all about easier accessing the wisdom that is always here. It's always here. It never leaves. No matter what you've done in the past, no matter how poorly you've ever thought of yourself, no matter what despicable things you might have done in your life, your divine wisdom never leaves you. It is always there. Do you ever notice that sometimes you say a really bright thing and you think, whoa, that was really bright. Where did that come from? It came from your higher self. And sometimes we do a thing and we think, whoa, that was really a great thing. Higher self in our life. Our work is not to be surprised by it, but to be expectant of it so that it can come through when we want and need it. We tend to be so locked up in external wisdoms that we forget that the true wisdom is right here. That's the true wisdom. I want all of us to be aware of the beauty and the wisdom in all of the scriptures, whether it's the New Testament or the Torah or the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita or the Sutras. I would love it if we all began to become versed in that. But the only thing they are there for is to point back to what we already know inside of us. Because all of the wisdom that we ever need is here. Well, we're lucky to be science in a philosophy called Science of Mind, which drives this church. That's what we study here. We study Ernest Holmes, who wrote the book Science of Mind. It's a culmination of all of these. There's nothing new in any of these. There's nothing new in Science of Mind. They're all just traditional wisdoms that we've repackaged. That's all those are. Well, becoming spiritually intelligent requires us to become aware of our intuition and familiar with our intuition. And we're fortunate here because there is a program that we teach called visioning. Now, it's different than visualization. Visualization is a powerful spiritual practice, and anybody who tells you different is not telling you the truth. It's a powerful spiritual practice. What we do with visioning is we get something in our mind. Say you want a new car. You get that in your mind, and you begin to build a movie, a very detailed movie about what that looks like if you were to have it. So you figure out what color you want, what make you want, what model you want. Then you picture yourself buying it. Then you picture yourself insuring it. Then you picture yourself washing it. Then you picture yourself, what would I wear when I drove it? Then you picture who will be in the car, who won't be in the car, all that stuff. You make a detailed movie of that's what's called visioning. And very important. Visualization. Thank you. Visioning is a different thing. Visualization is putting out there what you want. Visioning is allowing to come in. It's allowing to come in. And so we have a way of teaching that here, this visioning. You know, first you think of a topic. Now, when the ministerial interns decided that they would accept my invitation to do a Wednesday night service, they got together and they said Wednesday night service, and they visioned about what the Wednesday night service would look like. But you can do it about anything. You can do it about your next vacation. You can do it about your marriage. You can do it about your relationship with your children. You can do it about a car. You can do about anything you want it, do it on. You begin to think first. The first thing you do is to develop a topic. And then you're going to ask yourself 4 questions. First, you're going to have a little heart-to-heart with yourself about your worthiness and about how loved you are. And you know, I'm going to have Jerry's sacred reading on our Facebook page. You really want to do visioning? You read that first. Read that first, because it'll anchor you in love. So then the first question is this: what is the highest vision? What is the highest vision or the perfect idea? And then state your topic. Job, car, better marriage, how to save money. What is the highest vision? What is the perfect idea? And then you wait. And you wait. And you wait. And when I say you wait and you wait and you wait for a while right there. And if nothing comes, we're going to move on to other questions. And it might come when you're driving to work the next day. It might come when you're in the shower. It might come when you're trying to figure out what shoes to wear. It might come anytime. But the first question, what is the highest vision? And then you begin to wait. Then you go on to the second one. What must I do to empower? What must I become? What must I become to empower my vision? If it's your marriage, must I become more patient? Must I follow through on what I'm saying I'll do? What must I do? Must I become more passionate? What must I do? What must I become, I mean? The third one is, what must I release? What must I release? Must I release being right all the time? Do I need to release competition? Do I need to release procrastination? What must I release in service to this vision? The fourth one is, what must I embrace? What must I embrace? Must I embrace worthiness? Must I embrace that I'm stronger than I think I am? What is it that I must embrace? And the fifth one is, what else does my higher self want me to know at this moment? Is there any postscript the higher self would like me to know at this moment? Now, this is a very powerful spiritual practice. And I'm glad you're taking pictures of this. I'm glad some of you are taking notes of this. But I have something even better to offer you. Back there, I have a sheet. And it says, I would like to know more about visioning. We have some practitioners in this church who have been taught how to teach visioning. And one of them was at the 9 o'clock, and she said, I'll do it. Dr. Mignon Pollard will take you through a 2-hour workshop on a Saturday. Now, here's what has to happen. You have to sign up over there, and if we have enough interest, we'll do the workshop. See, because it's good to come here. I love it when you come here. I'd be very sad if you didn't come here on a Sunday. But to really get to work these principles and these practices, take advantage of what else we have to offer, which is a lot. So if you want to know how to vision, how to access that intuition, how to access the subconscious, how to access your oversoul, whatever you want to call it, begin to really learn this practice of visioning. Well, 1 through 16 of the skills that we've talked about are under the heading of self-mastery. And again, self-mastery is the practice of moving your ego in service to your higher self. It is not about smashing anybody's ego. It's about taking your ego, loving it up, and moving it into service to your higher self. Next week, we start a whole new series, and I'm very excited for it. It's called Social Mastery and Spiritual Presence. You know, I think it's important that we begin to take these teachings out into the world. I think what's happening in the world is an invitation to us to go out and speak more love, speak more God, speak more Allah, speak more Elohim, speak more sacred grandmother tree, speak more spiritual intelligence, speak more divine wisdom. We need to take it out now. That's going to help us. You know, I've been very careful. Well, not as careful as I might have been, but I've been somewhat careful about bringing any political discourse into the church. Actually, I've been very restrained of tongue and pen for myself. But I think it's time for us to begin to enter into the dialogue of love out there. Not in any way that says anybody's bad and I'm right and you're wrong, but let's begin to develop spiritual intelligence so we can take out equality, inclusion, diversity, love into our workplaces, into the Safeway, into the laundromats, into our meetings, into wherever. So next week, we'll do number 17. We'll kick it off. I hope you're all here. Bring friends, and we'll start the ball rolling. Let's take this message into prayer, knowing there's only one power. It's the power of love that runs through us all the time. Love, 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 love. We just take our head out of the way now and let it come out. We're not selecting who to love anymore. We're just loving everybody. We may not like them, we may not understand them, but we're going to love them. That's the power of God. That's the legacy of Jesus. Let us know that. I give thanks for that. I release this word into the law, and together we say, and so it is.